It was an exciting stage three. It was sort of a mini classic here with all these climbs towards the end. There was that climb with the bonus seconds, and then it finished uphill. And here's the GC before the race. We see that Tunison was in the lead thanks to his win on stage one, and it was all Team Jumbo 10 seconds back, Team Ineos 30 seconds back, and Quick Step to follow. There was a five-man break at the beginning of the race, and if you'll notice, Rosetto, he was in the break on stage one. He's the one who went solo towards the end there, so we may see more from him later. It was a calm day rolling through the farmlands until the hills became on the horizon and Tim Wellens dropped the rest of the breakaway group and he went for the KOM points. He looked really strong. He took his gap all the way to the bottom of that last categorized climb. He had about a minute at the bottom of the climb, and it looked like he may finish on top of that climb all alone. But then Alaphilippe made his move. He absolutely drilled it, and he made up almost that whole minute. He just barely missed out on that maximum time bonus on the top of that final climb. So at that point, I thought, okay, Alaphilippe, he's probably going to win the stage, but without that time bonus, he may not end up in the yellow jersey, but he rode so well. He picked up a really big gap, and then he was in yellow at the end of the day. So here are the stage results. You see that Matthews came in for second place for the group sprint. Sagan was there in fifth, Van Aert in ninth, and look at Pinot in 10th place. And here's something to look out for. I didn't notice a gap when I was watching this stage, but you'll see, and maybe they'll change this later, but if you look down at 12th place between Bernal and Thomas, there's a 5-second gap there. So Bernal picked up 5 seconds on Thomas, and so did Pinot. So there's a little tiny gap on GC. May not mean anything, but if this is one of the closest races that we expect, it could come down to be important. So here's the GC after the stage. You see Alaphilippe, he's in yellow. Van Aert, Kruijswijk, Bennett, we got the Jumbo block, and then Matthews with that time bonus, he jumped up a GC a little bit. We've got the Ineos guys, and look at Moss in 8th. I know I had sort of left him out yesterday, and that may be a mistake. If you think about Carapaz in the Giro, maybe Moss could do something similar here in the Tour if people kind of just let him go. So here we look further down the GC list. You see Pinot in 12th place, just ahead of Iran by 1 second, and then further down the list you're going to see Nibali and Yates. So we don't know what's going to happen on stage 6, but right now Pinot and Iran are the best of the rest compared to the Ineos guys. Here's what stage 4 looks like. Should be one for the sprinters, 3.2k at 5%. That's not enough to shed these guys. And here's the very final. You see it's perfectly flat, perfect day for the sprinters. And what about all these turns? Well, there's not a whole lot of turns. If you see that there's a little roundabout and then a left-hander, but that's more than 1k from the finish. And looking at the weather, we may see a little bit of a headwind at that final sprint there, so keep your eye on that. So who's my pick for tomorrow? Well, like I said before, we have the 3 top favorites, Groenewegen, Viviani, and Ewan. I still think those are the 3 favorites from what we saw after stage 1. I don't expect Tunison to do another upset. But what you saw, like after stage 1, Team Jumbo in the team time trial, they rode a wave of high emotion. So can Viviani do that? Because, Alaphilippe is in yellow. There's good vibes in the team. Might he win tomorrow? You never know, but I still think Groenewegen is the strongest, but he did crash on stage 1 and he did get dropped in the team time trial, so I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick Caleb Ewan tomorrow. So Caleb Ewan for the stage victory. Alaphilippe shall stay in yellow. See you tomorrow.